gluteus. Very, very well. Now we have to work on the gluteal region. So look at this picture carefully. The gluteal region will be divided into two sections. First, we'll work on the external section, and you see the indication, the arrows that point outwards. That is the direction of our pompe renvoyé, or of our pumping movements that we will do on the gluteus. Then the lymph takes another direction that you see from the line, the vertical line. It points inward at the coccyx and at the anus. So, working on the gluteus will be very simple. First, we'll do a pompe renvoyé on the external section. So, as you saw before in the picture, the direction will be towards the top. Very slowly, be careful. Always do it very slowly. See, here I'm going too fast. Now I'll show you the correct speed. Here you see. Now I started to slow down. Perfect. Okay? Once you have completed the external side, then you will have to drain the inner side of the gluteus and move the lymph towards the coccygeal and anal zones. Now I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so we have just completed working on the external side, and now you can see slowly from the mid-gluteus I start to move inwards. First, I move the lymph inwards, and then later I will show you how to drain the lymph from the coccygeal and anal zone. Once you have carried all the lymph towards the center of the gluteus, we have to drain the anal zone, which is going to be exactly the same as when we drain the coccyx. So for the sake of professionalism, we cover the customer, we place our hand at the center, and while the customer breathes in or breathes out, I will do this pumping, this deep pumping movement. Once we have drained the lymph nodes, the anal lymph nodes zone, then we will work on the other leg. So as you can see, I position myself on the other side of the cot to work on the left leg. And then slowly, as I said before, we need to carry the lymph from the external side of the gluteus towards the top, because soon we will drain this by draining the iliac crest. But for now, let's focus on this area. So as the slower the better. You move all the lymph upwards with this pompe renvoyé, and then we will work on the inner side. You do this for 2 to 5 minutes. Now we're going to work on the inner side of the gluteus. So slowly we drain the fluids towards the anal zone. So I move slowly. Also, in this case, we have to do the draining of the lymph nodes. So as the customer is breathing out, we apply pressure at the center, always keeping the blanket on top of the customer for the sake of professionalism. So when the customer breathes out, we need to apply pressure deep in this area which is rich in lymph nodes, and so we drain the latter. Now, once we have drained the lymph nodes, then we also have to drain the iliac crest zone. So we place one hand above the iliac crest. In other videos, I said that you had to place your hand underneath, but then I realized that it's only an error. The fact is that the area is always the same, but with your hand, with your index finger, with my left hand in this case, I have to feel the iliac crest, on both sides. So you see, I place my hand, and then with my index finger, I am exactly above the iliac crest. And I do these 10 pumping movements per side, and then once I've completed, I will drain the terminus, always 5 times, as you saw in other videos.